I'd love to see Liquid maybe even go for like a LeshRack or something on mid. Like they cover themselves with a Nyx pick, and they have this cut also with the shards. You can bring the hero to you. So the idea is you can just have this like int hero on mid lane, just overutilizing it. Before they run it with like a razor on Koi cover, so not really like that style, but a more just constantly in your face. And I want to see that type of hero that will happily just tank up with 2 or 3 items and be in your face. And okay, they go for the LeshRack.
There's that LeshRack. What a prediction, God. Does that Magnus pick, T or she, but either of you can answer this question, facilitate a void carry, or is it not indicative of that?
Who's going to take it?
It's probably much more likely the carry void, because like T has been saying over and over again, their ability to hold this triangle is so amazing. If you're playing with this Magnus lineup, then clearly what you want to be doing in this game is stacking the triangle, stacking camps, farming as much as possible. So if they're able to do that, play with this void, play with this Magnus, farm them up super hard, that team fight should be pretty easy to execute. You're no longer just simply relying on a Chronos for every fight. You can also land this RP. I think it's great. But I do believe if they are running this as a duo core, they do need something slightly more active on the offlaner that can maybe take these early skirmishes while they're farming with Empower.
Honestly, I would really like to see, I think from Liquid's ban, like this casual Timber second phase. I think this could be an indicator of Axe carry here. Because like I mentioned already how this tri-camp's a really important thing for ChFighters. But if like you have this mid-lesh taking your towers, you have this safe lane Axe who's able to run in and invade and steal stacks with a Vanguard, like you're naturally going to play into this area when your Dire safe lane. So like potentially this could just be a really high tempo style of game. You know, Axe runs you down, jumps this void, he kills himself on top of the core. Like, could be an option.
We know that Team Liquid do like Axe carry. They picked it up quite a lot at the major. They weren't very successful with it, but it definitely showed that they at least thought it was good enough to pick up multiple times, and they've probably practiced it since. So I would not be surprised by an Axe carry. And also the heroes around it. These are classic Axe carry heroes, like a LeshRack. You want those damage dealing kind of mids and stuff.
Just, yeah, run it, you guys. Like I think Kodo will enable Lesh and Nyx to have fun. You know, getting those layered stuns in. And yeah, like I wouldn't be opposed to an Axe, honestly. Like it's a hero that really cuts through the greediness in some lineups because whilst you're still happily farming, he can run at you. But I think ChFighters kind of dismantled that like kind of train of thought because they will happily still run at you when they're on a little bit more of a kind of a slower style of a lineup.
I
picks
see
and
a
bans,
Wraith
both
King
these
here,
teams.
maybe for Liquid.
That's true as well. Yeah, that's
think-
very true.
Yeah, all of ChFighters' heroes with the Chrono and the RP, they just want to kill you in that one go. I think Wraith King would really mess up their ideas here. And they just banned Razor, so maybe they want to pick a melee carry and give it the best lane. I would like
I've
to
got a
see that
little
anyway.
bit of time to think about it. 130 seconds here. ChFighters banning out that Doom. So they seem to think it's probably an Axe carry if they're banning out a Doom.
They're kind of like dipping their toes into both, right? Like they take away a big win condition that is Medusa, and then they ban out like a Doom. So they're kind of respecting the flexibility here of the Axe, and like now Liquid needs to decide, like, do they want to go for like a Wraith King style of carry, which just solidifies your whole game plan, or do you want to fully go into the idea of let's just run at them, lads? Let's just try and get some fight going, and that's where maybe Boxy's hero could come into play.
Yeah, Mars is still in the pool, so that could be picked up.
That's true.
Very good Mars.
Yeah,
We're not seeing a lot of Mars. I would like that Mars on Boxy. Boxy. Boxy's a great Mars. He's one of the people who's played it for so long, and when it's in meta, you really do expect him to pick it up a little bit more. What do you want to see on ChFighters?
I just want to, sorry, Liquid, offlane, Luna. Yeah, I was about to say Venaluna. Yep, sounds right.
Yeah.
I wanted them
Venaluna.
to be I wanted them to be super toxic, like Liquid, maybe not these players, but the brand Liquid, have
What
Venom
the
also.
hell?
Oh!
There we
I
go.
didn't want another 100-minute game! ChFighters, that's very rude.
Era techies. All right, this lad, he had probably one of the best games of techies in the lower division DPC. It was very clean, very succinct, and on paper, it's not the best because of the Luna and the LeshRack push potential early, but yeah, it's a techies game. TI life on the line. You pick a techies.
You know, maybe they're just doubling down on that triangle, T. They just really want to protect that triangle.
They're tripling down. This triangle will be impenetrable. You know, if you want to farm it, you're going to have to run through remote mines, status traps, all the other mines, suicides. Oh, God. Oh, this is beautiful. I have nothing else to say, Dan. I just want to watch a Techies game.
Just for anyone worrying this is going to be a long game, Techies can be played aggressively. That's what Hellraisers do with it. They use it to shut out the game very, very quickly. So we could still be in for a short one here. Sheepstick, who do you think is going to win this?
I'm putting my money on Liquid. I think they have a lot of tools to be able to deal with this Techies. I think they have just played against this Faceless Void, so now they are going to adapt. I think they're a good team. I think they got it. I like this lineup. Good luck.
Okay, well, it's go big or go home for ChFighters here with a Techies pick in this elimination game. But can Team Liquid's Axe chop through it as we go to this vital elimination game 3? We're going to hand over to Avo Plus and SeekNStrike.
Yep, welcome back. This is the second Techies game for us, Richie, in these close qualifiers. We did one EU. I think it was Hellraiser that picked it. And there was also their qualifiers on the line. So something about Techies, you know, when you feel like you're about to lose, you just pick the hero. Are you ready for another 60-minute game? I got my bucket here. I got my food.
Yeah, I was about to say I got my pillow in between as soon as I got the Techies game, just in case, you know, I got to stay nice and comfy. Refilled the water, got some more mate, you know, making sure we're all good to go. Because who knows? I mean, the thing is, Zayat's fantastic Techies players, right? He's quite literally the reason why the team No Techies exists. It's because of him. Right, and I'm sure you've seen them quite a few times in Eastern Europe. But when they picked it, and granted this was a second pick Techies, it was pretty heavily countered. This time it's a last pick Techies, and I don't think we really do too nicely against it. Quakefa, yeah, you can split earth and break trees and give it a little bit of vision. Mickey, he's technically playing a ranged hero, but Luna, she can struggle against remote mines if we don't have like a Dragon Lance or at least the Dragon Lance, right, for additional attack range. So they might struggle here, like T-Gov was alluding to, right? They can kind of just fortify their triangle, get the farm that they need, and then yes, they can flash farm absolutely with Empower and this Faceless Void. So you know, it's going to be up to Liquid to try and force fights elsewhere. Maybe just try an uber push here with their mid lane Lesh. We've got answers to this draft and this tempo, but we don't have the best answers to the Techies. So that's going to be the game changer here.
I would agree. I mean, we also have the Dream Techies lineup, honestly. Void, Winter Wyvern, Magnus. What else would you ask for? Even the Snapfire is kind of decent with Techies because you can cookie him a bit further, so you can lay down the Stasis Trap. There's like a lot of combination of the Techies that make him actually a really useful hero. And as you said, no really big counters. I actually really like the ChFighters pick. I know Era is also one of the few Techie spammers we've seen competitive. As far as I know, the ones that come to mind are Zayat, Tio Licor from SA, Xing from China, and then I think it's Era. I can't really think of anyone that I'm missing that is also a Techie spammer, and that will occasionally.
There it goes.
Well, I mean, I guess AUI you might have considered, but I think AUI hates Techies.
Alright, so that's going to be Pexi then TPing down bottom. Solo XP for Charlie for a couple of waves. This lane now versus the Axe. Insania, by the way, on his trademark Coddle. And of course, this Axe off lane, or even Luna, or even Lesh, heck, in the early game, we got plenty of people who can take advantage. Because in case you don't know, Insania, he is an absolute madman when it comes to stacking, especially on the Coddle. It's his bread and butter.
I mean, the Coddle, I would say, it's not just an Insania hero, it's just a Liquid hero in general. It just suits their style so much. I know that now it's a bit less so, because Recall, obviously, you have to wait 20 minutes to get it. But it's still the oppressive style in the early game, where Coddle actually is a decent laner. If you're a good Coddle, you can deal a lot of damage.
Taiga?
As you said, the stacking. Well, Taiga. He's
him.
gonna die to the blast off. That's gonna be an easy kill for Era. He wasn't really that difficult for him. He didn't have Spike Garpus there, so just killed him.
Yep. Shibe with a good skewer on back after the after the Impale stun, and he had to cancel. Era had to cancel that blast off a couple of times, but he got it on the third time. No worries.
That's how you play Techies in the lane, by the way. You don't start mining it as soon as possible. You actually start to use a blast off early. It's a huge spell. In fact, with the skewer, can they actually get Mickey? They don't have a blast off this time, though, unfortunately, and the Impale will stop him. the triple fairy fire, so it can actually deal some physical damage on Techies. Oh no. Got rid of Charlie's magic wand. That's gonna suck. But yeah, Insania is great in the Coddle. Now you slow down his timing a bit more because of the recall shard, but I still think it works well with Liquid. At 20 is still fine for Liquid. It's still early enough for them to fight it.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about this this Supreme mid lane Snapfire. I think we saw a noob Snapfire yesterday in their win over ITB. And he decided to go for stats. I believe there was a Kaya and Sanj, or was it a Sanj and Yasha?
They lost that game.
They did lose,
lost that game.
right?
Yeah.
That was one of those hour-long games with a 25-minute pause. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons maybe why we could lose this game. But what do you think Supreme's going to go for then on the mid lane Snapfire? Probably BOT's first, which, of course, he already has queued up. But we no longer really see this kind of Ags rush, do we, on the mid snaps like we used to?
No, I mean, you have some utility here with the Magnus. Like, there is an Ags rush that you could justify. I don't think it's bad. Techies to a degree as well, because Techies, you just launch him, stun, and then he goes on with a blast off. There's the shard. It's like 2 stuns on top of each other. But I do like just the Blink Dagger snap, like the BOTs, Blink Dagger, BKB. You get the shard as soon as possible, and you just a massive magic damage dealing nuker. I wouldn't even mind the E. The E-Blade's not too great actually in this game, but that's the build I would like. I wasn't a big fan of the Kai and Sanj, to be honest, on Snap. I get the point because you become like a pseudo tank, but I think this game you can deal with that. You already have Chrono and everything. You can use the kisses a bit more effectively, and you can even get an Ags a bit later to add to the stun time of the Chrono, right after the kisses. So I think there's a lot of good points here for the Snap. I don't think there's a single build that I'd say is good.
Insane is about to get to work here. Is he going to go for the Fabled triple stack? I don't think you can now. He's got the Lesh to do it for him. So all the camps stacking over in the triangle, while Era is able to double stack himself. Big stacks right now already in the Radiant triangle, as Insania just getting started, but Era's already spent the past 2 minutes stacking here.
Yeah, Coddle's actually a bit better in the Radiant Triangle because you can do a triple stack like this by using the Illuminate early onto the 2 camps, and then you get the small camp afterwards. But Dire's a bit more difficult to commit that. And top lane, Taiga could be in trouble. They do have the blast off, but Taiga, has a spike carpet. That's why you don't ever use the blast off. Just kill yourself. Instead, it's going to be Shibe who gets rid of Taiga. Now, the blast off is going to be used. The silence is not going to do much to Shibe. Sorry, for Mickey, and Mickey's going to get a double kill if you do that. So, you're going to let Mickey take that kill happily. And support exchange for offlaner, not ideal for you as ChFighters, but at least you're keeping up the pressure against the Muda.
Yeah, and Pexu with this value points in the Cold Embrace down bottom. Charlie is not having really a nice time, despite playing a Faceless Void into the Axe, where, you know, with this burst damage, you can time walk it off. He still finds himself pretty low in HP, especially thanks to the level 2 Battle Hunger. So this value point in the Cold Embrace early is really helping him out. He's got to be careful, though. We've seen this before, right? Too many points in Cold Embrace, not enough points in Splinter Blast, leaves you without really someone to deep push waves from a safe distance. And that could potentially be a really big problem here, as there goes Charlie's Courier yet again.
Oh. Interesting that he's taking these stacks, actually, Era, not giving it to the Magnus at all. I wonder if that's because he thinks it's going to be threatened, or because he just feels like him getting gold this game is massive. I mean, Ags this game for a tech is a pretty big deal, actually. You know, because you have the Chrono to set up the mines. You even have the Winter's Curse.
Well, it's split 50-50 here. Shibe taking most of the big ones. In fact, all of the big creeps are his.
And he'll take the Ancients anyway, right, with Empower, because like, he's not going to farm that, I presume, so. Or you can give it to Void, actually. Taiga sees the stack, he's like, guys, there's a stack here. I'm going to block it, because nobody can take it just yet. But in the future, we'll steal this.
Yep, and there goes Insania. 3 times stacked now in his own triangle. Stack wars begin.
I mean, if you're a Coddle, you want to
mid lane
stack quick.
This is for Qualifier. Ooh, they didn't quite get him, and he's going to be able to escape. The DD rune for Pexu is not enough damage. He's actually going to try and farm a stack while he's here. Why not? The bounty refill here. Pexu could ruin his day, though, but can't get within range for the attacks. No boots versus the Disco Pony with boots. Good luck catching up with him.
Yeah, no Splinter Blast, no Arctic Burn. It's just impossible there. But at least to give some time for Supreme to kind of push this lane, I was going to say, but then Insania just came by and stopped this completely. No, when I was talking to Stinger yesterday, he was telling me that if you play a support like Coddle, for example, that has an ease of stacking, you do try to force the stacking as much as possible. And sometimes, even when you feel like bullying the lane is nice, you might take an extra stack or might go more time into the stacking zone, just because you feel like it's one of the advantages you have over the enemy support, right? So that's why Insania, I think, is playing a bit more, like, not as aggressively as he could in the lane, leaving the enemy carry a bit alone, and instead just trying to maximize Boxy's farm for a mid-game power spike.
It's a little spooky, though, isn't it? Because Charlie's basically going straight for a really heavy farming build. Of course, no Maelstrom, instead just Mask of Madness, which will help him a little bit in these Chronos. But also, he's got Empower to farm this game, right? So he doesn't really necessarily need that Maelstrom. So it's a bit spooky as Boxy is clearing a big old stack of Ancients. That'll get him his Blink Dagger here relatively soon. They're going to go ahead and get him online early. So, you know, sure, we get Faceless Void set up for the long run, but this Axe is very, very set up already for the short run here. As he'll have Blink super early, definitely by 10 minutes here. 10 minutes is a bit difficult. 11, 12 minutes, I think. He'll have Blink Dagger and Vanguard and Brown Boots.
Okay. And you can actually start snowballing off with the Axe early. That's going to give enough space to Mickey to really just vacuum farm the jungle. Great hero to give space to Luna in general. That's a good Chrono. Just at the edge with Mortimer's Kisses. Should be a kill on Qualifier. And at least ChFighters has been managing to get like these small kills. But Liquid is still dominating the early game.
He's going to use the RP just to escape.
He's going to be fine now. Okay. It's fine, but it's still Liquid taking control over the game right now with the insane net worth lead they have. So I wouldn't be too happy about just escaping with RP. You need to do more here with ChFighters lineup. Like Insania dying would be huge here. This would be pretty big. Just take down the Coddle, don't let him stack any longer, and lose that gold amplifier that you have on Liquid.
Yeah, he's going to die by the time he can stack, so that's going to be a little bit annoying. Just a kill, in addition to the inefficiencies of not being able to get someone to stack for you. So that one hurts. Pexu, by the way, is very, very poor right now. It's 900 gold, there he is at least, but he's going to be killed off yet again by the Call, down bottom, and dunked underneath his tier 1 tower, trying to defend it. But Qualifier, level 4 Edict here, with the Axe to keep him in place, means he is going absolutely nowhere but back to the fountain.
Okay. And now Shiba's taking the stacks here with the help of Charlie as well. Or actually, maybe they're giving the main source of gold here to the Charlie. Hopefully getting the Void somewhat online. We did see the power of the Void last game. He's going for Mask of Madness this game, which it's interesting. The choice to go for this is because you know you can actually deal damage in Chrono. There's nothing to really stop you. So Void's free to hit within the Chrono. And you might be trying to use that to just get the early ganks that you're looking for. It makes your pickoffs much easier because you don't always need Mortimer's Kisses or Techies even with you. You might just be able to get a solo kill on a Luna if Mask of Madness is online and you have maybe like Maelstrom on top. This build is not very often seen these days though, but I think it's still useful in this game.
I agree, especially because Mickey, he's going for just the max farming build now. Went 1-4-4, now at 10, he's going to skip the talent and instead go for the second point in Beam. His lane was easy enough, honestly. I mean, so long as you didn't die to Techies, you're not too scared of the Magnus. You don't really need to bully him that hard as you would, say, a Timbersaw, for example, with the Lucent Beams. So he's able to farm quite a bit. Everyone kind of seems set to take this into the late game, but here is Boxy, indeed, with that 10-minute Blink Dagger already on the way. So perhaps he's going to be the one to try and speed this game up a little bit, or just create a bit more space for his Luna to get his items.
Let's see. Supreme. Tried to find the kill here on the top lane against Maker. At least Disturb is farming somewhat, while Liquid is just getting ready for Axe to come online. Qualifier, unfortunately, has not had the early game that he was hoping for, so they might have to recover him a bit as well, which is why the gank squad only includes Boxy out of the cores.
Good lane,
Yeah,
fight,
Chrono here for Qualifier. Tough though with a blinding light. Charlie's able to outrun this, but maybe he still gets caught. Berserker's call. There's a lot of mines. They don't seem to care. Calling Blade will take down Charlie. The power of Boxy started to show, and they even get Supreme as well. Beautiful and Bale. Actually, it's going to be all 3 cores dead for Liquid. The mines, however, finish off for Qualifier, but they want more. Liquid is not afraid of the mines. They're going to continue going for Pexu's life, and now proceed to take a tower.
That's the exact kind of Blink Dagger reveal you want. Not only do you get, what, a 2 or 3 man call, you get the call onto the person who is trying to lay down kisses and suppressive fire. Beautiful call. You get the tower off the back of that. Sure, the Techies nets them the kill on the Leshrac, but now you can try and head into the triangle here and look to clear mines, look to steal any stacks that are here. As there goes Arrow, blowing up Insania. Oh boy. I expect a couple more of those here this game, Coddle. You are not really built for a game like this.
Coddle Yeah, he's expected to die for a couple of these mines, but frankly, for having a techies that should be controlling the map, Liquid is playing quite fearless, and they managed to take a tower already. And the more map control you get in this game, the more you close in techies' side of the map, the less useful this hero becomes. He's great for these incredible high ground defenses, but at least in competitive, you want to use him so you can close out the map from the enemy. And the less map you have, the harder this becomes, of course.
We've got the points in Curse now. Maybe that was going to be something decisive that was missing from the last fight, thanks to Pexu just getting enough XP in the mid lane. Liquid didn't really use too big of cooldowns, to be honest. So yeah, they're already back on the prowl here. We have Eclipse now finally with Lucent Beam max, so it'll be doing some damage, but I don't believe it was max by the time Luna was joining the fight. It was really just mostly Boxy, and of course Leshrac doing damage while Boxy held him down through the call. But they're not going to find anyone to fight here in the jungle, and instead might have to defend this tier 1 top lane, or just farm and let it go instead. Boxy is going to TP on over. The Nyx Assassin looking now to connect under the cover of Vendetta. He will be able to get the jump here. Now with Insania joining, but of course Insania without recall yet is not going to be able to call a second core on over, so the kills seem unlikely, and ChFighters reading the map are just going to go ahead and make the safe play. Oh no, the courier not as lucky though. Taiga might even be able to escape here. Yep, there's the Carapace burn, Charlie giving chase, and with the cookie, he's able to close the gap, Mask of Madness, and perma-stun to kill going to Supreme.
Yep. Alright. Well, a simple kill for ChFighters that might lead to a tower here, but Liquid still controlling the map and getting the most out of the resources here. They might be able to even defend this tower if they choose to do so. They are TPing a couple of heroes, and we even see Luna farming nearby. There is a TP. Nice call from Boxy yet again. Qualifier joining in. Mortimer's kisses though to defend, and Boxy, in a pickle. He's taking a lot of magical damage, and comes Taiga, stops those kisses from coming out. Shib is already dead. Charlie has the chrono. It's been stunned. Charlie, at this point, is only going to be a defensive chrono. They're trying to retreat, may get to a point where mines might be there. Yeah, and Liquid this time is not going to follow after.
Yeah, plenty of mines already set up here in the triangle. They're going to look to try and fortify this entire top area like T-Gov suggested and implied that they would in the draft. So that means although they'd win a fight and there is an objective here for them to push, it's not a very ideal objective when there's a techies. Plus, you know, you got your Luna here. She's continuing to farm beautifully, even getting involved in that fight. Already has the Manta style completed, so the silence coming through from the techies no longer too big of a concern here. And Mickey going next into the Butterfly. This was something I was going to mention, right? Because the issue with not going Maelstrom on Charlie, even though MOM is great for the... Oh, hold that thought. Dive in the mid lane tower. This is going to be a second kill here onto Shibe, as it's going to be the Illuminate to clean him up. Charlie still has Chrono, but the Blinding Light is going to give him a big old miss rate. Now even the Solar debuff to try and slow his chase even more, as Boxy attempting to escape, will get off the call. A couple of spins here, but it's going to be Era blowing through all that bonus armor there with the blast off to pick up the secondary kill.
That felt a bit unnecessary, to be honest, from Liquid. You went really far in, this time not even creating space for Mickey because he was already fine. You forced a fight. Boxy's been doing a really good job of just taking these fights and taking these pickoffs when ChFighters overextend, thus making it seem like their map is smaller than it should be. But there, you're really just playing into the techie's hands. So that wasn't the greatest, and you gave ChFighters a bit of breathing room now to recover. But it's going to be tough for the Void to ever equal a Luna's farm, but if these things keep happening, it's a start, especially with the Empower. It's not impossible. Oh, why is Mickey here? I guess he wants to fight this, but Axe is dead, so they know they can kill him. The RP's ready, and use all their damage possible. Mortimer's Kisses plus Blast Off, yeah, Mickey's going to die. Now the Winter's Curse might set up for the kill on Insania. In fact, he even catches Boxy here. And with a Splinter Blast at the Berserker's Call, here comes Qualifier with a bit of magical damage. And there's also help from the Cookie to stun him. Shib has been saved by the Cold Embrace, but not for long. He's going to die to the Cooling Blade. And Liquid, they managed to actually re-engage, but now they're chasing after a team with techies, always very scary. They do catch the Void though. Fought here, got caught by the call. That was surprising by Charlie. Era in a similar position. There's the Battle Hunger. They hit him with Split Earth, and that's going to be yet another kill going the way of Liquid. So this counter initiation works well for them.
Yeah, I think both teams going a bit too far. They really want to match each other's aggression, right? Liquid farming very aggressively, I guess, on the Luna, punished immediately for that. They want the +1, but it's just a coddle, right? But it's a good setup with the Curse and Kisses, and that just extra amount of greed ends up trading away, what, 1 extra core for them? So Not the best trade for these guys, unfortunately. DD Rune now out for Mikke. So he's going to go straight into Roshan. 30 seconds left until Chronosphere is ready to go. A whole minute for RP and 20 on the Winter's Curse, sorry. That means that Liquid are going to be able to get this Roshan basically for free. Once down, it will go.
Okay. That's a good advantage for Liquid. Also a bit of a safety measure here for Mikke. They want to go high ground. But they can't overextend. I mean, I would say that's for both teams, right? Both teams, I think, overextended a bit in those fights.
Yep.
I guess it's kind of hard to measure when you're strong in this game. Because ChFighters doesn't seem as powerful in these fights, but they're managing to get it off when Mortimer's Kisses and Techies is online, really. Whereas for Liquid, I feel like they're just stronger when these things are offline. So these things are just the considerations that both teams should be making. ChFighters, they still have at least control over their jungle a bit. Liquid hasn't really been playing too aggressively there. In usual Liquid fashion, when you win the game, you try to play the top part of the map, control Roshan, your own jungle, especially if you're dire, and you try to pierce the tier 1 if possible to try to invade the enemy triangle.
They're gonna go hunting for Shibe. Shibe's not gonna show though. Luckily, he was very patient here with plenty of heroes missing off the map, and that will likely save his life. He's so close to the Blink Dagger now. He's been dying quite a bit here, of course, as the initiator. That's more or less expected from him. But Liquid have been doing a real great job in trying to keep him down, well below Supreme here in terms of net worth, and in fact, even almost Era is within 1,000 gold here of his own offlaner. So good progress here by the techies, as Shibe struggling still to get online with the Blink.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's going to be, some more remote mines for Qualifier. Luckily, he's got a Sanj, as well as the Hood of Defiance, so he's not too bothered. I believe there's now 2 hoods. Axe going for the Van Hood Blink. And Boxy's going to be looking to be now the tertiary core, as he's going to be going into the Manta style here after the Yasha.
Okay. Alright. See how that works out. Qualifier pushing a tower here. Boxy, I feel like you have a lot of strength here as the Axe core against a Void, really. Until he gets backtracked, there's nothing really you can do against him with the Berserker's Call plus the Manta style. Of course, you can time walk the damage off, but should be enough damage against this edgy core. So it really is the backtrack that's going to save you against this. I like the build by Boxy. He's also been really impactful this whole game. I like that Qualifier is kind of taking a backseat a bit. I mean, he's still farming well, but it seems like Qualifier is being more of a 3 as Boxy takes over the role of 2, at least in their builds.
Mid lane here, Pexu is going to drop a ward under the cover of the smoke. Right now, ChFighters, they smoked up, but they don't really want to take fights away from mines, because we can see how annoying they really are for Liquid. Mikke just being casually harassed, sending forth the illusions, though, to try and get the job done. Yeah, that's some pretty good mine sweeping right there. Don't mind if I do. Is going to make that a little bit easier for them to now look to invade the triangle. Aegis still available here for quite some time, actually. A full 2 minutes left. We've already got the bottom tier 2 tower and really great control here over the ChFighters jungle. But ChFighters are not going to let this mid tier 2 go without a fight, especially because they have all of their cooldowns. So for now, Liquid acknowledging this, just using the time to farm as much of the map as they can. I like Insanio's ward here as well. That is going to watch over the jungle. If ChFighters look to try and extend their portion of the map a bit to farm up top, Liquid could potentially look for some counterplay there where they know there's no mines, and ChFighters are going to be hard-pressed to reinforce quickly there.
Let's see. Liquid, they're trying to play over the part of the map where I guess they don't have too many mines, or they know they don't have too many mines in, which I think is their jungle right now. They took down Taiga, though, because he wasn't doing that. I mean, Taiga's kind of the scout to a degree. If they catch Charlie, though, this is much more important. I know they can kill him in time. Shibe actually helps out with the RP. And they still have Chrono, by the way. Mortimer's Kisses. Wow. This is going to be a triple kill. What a counter initiation by ChFighters. Liquid bit off a bit more than it could chew there.
That was beautiful. Shibe just setting them all up there. It was like setting up bowling pins, We had the 4-step play coming, and they just all got bowled over there, really. Kisses, and even Magnus empowering himself and able to get in melee damage, really showing how well placed, not only of a Chronosphere that was, but just the coordination between the two. And this is what I was talking about last game. It's when you know how to play with a Faceless Void, it's all these small things that really make a difference. All the trust and just counter-initiating perfectly there. My goodness, ChFighters even fighting into the ages here. Of course, Mickey not there. Wouldn't have made much of a difference with all the control that came through from ChFighters. So they're going to be able to claim the Liquid jungle now for themselves and go equal here in terms of map pressure.
Butterfly, nice little pickup for Luna to have a bit of survivability against the Void as well, but honestly, Void is doing a good job of keeping up with her. And that kill up top just set him up in net worth. Now only 3k apart from the Luna. Void is certainly a better carry if it comes to the mano-a-mano between them two, so... There's actually like being, like, it technically is like one item down, but it's a very cheap item, so you're really kind of equal between the two. You'd lose Insania in exchange for Era. Seems like an okay trade, as Era's already mined the whole map. They tip him. And Liquid can't really realize their style right now because they know that the parts of the map they haven't seen Era in, or they've seen him like roaming around in, there's just a bunch of mines. They can't take over the triangle. Look how many mines there are in the triangle right now. You just can't go as Liquid. So you have to stay in your own jungle, you can't exert the map pressure you'd like, and you're letting ChFighters get the farm they need on the Void to eventually be able to just surpass you. Their lineup is made for the late game. They have great team fight, a good core-to-core matchup. What else do you want?
Yeah, and this is what I was speaking about earlier before we got cut off by a team fight. Charlie not going for Maelstrom early means that he doesn't have, well, albeit a very small percentage source of accuracy, it means that these blinding lights and now this butterfly for Luna is a real big problem. He's acknowledging this, though, as Luna has shown it off already. MKB in the quick buy here after the Eye of Scotty for the Faceless Void, so Charlie's still going to need a bit of time before he's completely online in that regard. Looks like Boxy, he just bought something, didn't he? Oh yeah, he's got the full manta finished. Okay. So we can now begin cutting waves. He's a little bit away from getting the shard online, but with the way he's going to be able to farm and split push waves using illusions at no risk to himself, it'll be only a couple of minutes here until he's fully online and ready to fight. Then just needs BKB. Actually, he's not going for the shard. He's queued up the BOTs first.
Interesting. I mean, I think the cutting lanes is definitely important, but I think the shard is vital so you can deal with the Void, really, and just jump him. I don't think you have that much time, so you just lax around if you have nothing to deal with the Void. Time dilation is great against the Nyx, but I think he has to use no spells. Okay, he really hates Taiga. Ow! Okay, Chrono just for Taiga.
And a tip.
I mean, Taiga's been doing a good job of keeping tabs on the techies, so when Taiga's dead, Area is just like, he's a maverick, you know? Yeah, someone loose with like a bomb somewhere in the map, you don't know where he's going. You don't know where he's putting these mines down. It's kind of scary for Liquid right now because you don't have anyone to keep tabs on him.
We also, no, I mean, we've got Axe here to just run down, and the Nyx Assassin to hunt down, actually, the Wyvern. So, Peksu going for this first item here in the Locket, as we can see now. Techies getting ready, setting up some vision in the Roche pit, as next Roshan might be up as soon as in 30 seconds. There's Ags now delivered for Era, so this Minefield sign finally, getting put to work, potentially, here. Eager to see how he's going to use it, though, because ChFighters, although this next Roche fight might, dramatically turn it, are not really in a position where, we need Era to be mining the base and get ready for the push. So I'm eager to see how he uses Minefield Sign, or if he's just going to save it for an eventual high ground hold. Longest cooldown of the game on that thing,
set up
6 minutes.
You can set up like special mine traps where you just see a minefield sign, right, and you go, oh, I'm just gonna die, right? But I think, yeah, maybe early because there's no really reason to save for a high ground push. But Luna's so scary, right? If Luna wins a fight, it just takes on your whole high ground. So maybe you want to just save it for that. I'm not really sure. The Ags, though, is very useful because now you have even more damage in Chrono, apart from Mortimer's Kisses.
And
well, you do have on Liquid side, yeah, demining with their bodies. This is the equivalent of Ghost Push is Ghost demining, right? You use the Axe Manta illusions and Luna Manta illusions, and hopefully Techie stops being such a nuisance.
Yeah, and they're doing this now because obviously Liquid are aware, hey, we're in the Roche window. Let's make sure that if we need to take a fight on their high ground, that we're not going to be constantly stopped by stasis traps. We're not going to get ourselves blown up by random proximity mines. Like, this is really, really crucial stuff for them to be doing here at this stage. As well as putting some pressure down bottom. Insania just casually pushing here. Not quite the Ghost push, but it is going to be the Illuminate push. That counts for something. Is going to force Peksu back here to defend the Tier 3 tower from too much damage.
I mean, it is kind of a difficult game for Liquid to continue doing anything in because of these stupid mines. And even the Manta style way of clearing them is still going to take a while because you still have remote mines to worry about, right? It's not like this solves the problem for you. what do you do with your Liquid genuinely? I mean, besides pushing the lanes and leaving the enemy team with as little options as possible, what is your pool of options here?
For
Roshan,
Liquid,
I guess?
mean, I think it's wait for Roche. I think Roche has to be like you just never have the confidence of playing against this like a techies without Roche. Yeah, goodbye remote mines. That sucks. There's 4 remote mines here with Ags at level 2 here. That one's gonna hurt quite a bit. And now the Manta illusions here. Ooh, might just get the courier, but at least they're gonna destroy the mines. So Liquid again, just setting up for Roche. I would say this is the next best play they could do, other than just continue farming and waiting for Roshan. They'll only have to wait another 15 more seconds before we get Roshan number 2.
Yeah, and with Roshan on the 2, you have an Aegis, so hopefully you could go up to the high ground. Charlie's getting scarier and scarier by the second, though. The Scotty usually is a turning point for most melee versus range carry matchups, right? Because now you slow down the Luna. She actually reduces her healing considerably. Oh no, Minefield signed the Roche pit. Now they pinged it. It's like, no, guys.
Yep,
what do we do? Ping era? Someone needs to kill Era. Stop him from setting more mines and just play around this. Era will kill Taiga in the process, and he's actually being saved by the Cold Embrace. They have a Chrono. They're gonna go in. The target is Boxy first. They need more damage from Boxy, and they will get him eventually, but Mickey just wasted his BKB inside the Chrono. Charlie had to use his own. He's going for a Quick for next. Last Mortimer Kiss slowing him down, but Liquid will win this, if anything, due to the buybacks. Now they have a superiority to go inside this Roche pit. No more ultimates for ChFighters except for Winter's Curse.
Yeah, Curse is a big one. That's a big one, right? We only have Eclipse to fight him here and the Axe. Buyback's out, though, so we got the numbers advantages. There goes Boxy. He's found Era, wants to get this dieback here onto the techie. Should get it, but out comes this Curse now. Taiga, he's going to end up dying back just to all the Axe illusions. No, still alive on a hair of HP, gets the 4-staff on back. And that's going to be the Curse, not used for much here, as Mike is able to snag everything from Roshan, making sure that they can divvy the spoils of war safely when they know that no one's going to come in and steal it.
Okay. Win for Liquid overall. They had to use a couple of buybacks, but I still think the Roshan is worth it completely. And as we said, once the ChFighters lose their big cooldowns, they lose their big ultimates, they can't fight just yet. Need that Chrono to deal with the Luna, especially with the build the Void went for. Right? It's a build that's Chrono intensive. In the late game, this will be changed, but right now you really cannot fight the mano a mano against the Luna. She's also hitting her power spike. You have no MKB either. A big point that you made earlier.
Yeah, I mean, for now, it's kind of like we've got this unstoppable force, which is the Luna, and Charlie is very much the immovable object, because he's really tough to kill, right? That's the problem for him. He's got Kai and Sanj, he's got a BKB, Eye of Scotty, and Power Tread's very, very tanky, and of course with Time Walk, okay, he's going to TP right into the Ignis. Charlie, okay, I mean, you're hard to kill. I don't know about this hard to kill. The Cookie, the 4-staff, and now into the Cold Embrace, healed back to full. He's going to be good to go.
The Cold Embrace, like, did you say movable object? Oh, Horn Toss! They actually bring the Luna back. Mickey has the Aegis this time, though. But they can kill her twice if she's far back enough. However, this time they had a solution with a Hurricane Bike. Charlie's still lasting this whole damage, and now this is what Luna does to your base. She just takes it. No chance. She actually might just kill Charlie with the Glaives.
Yeah,
don't stand near those racks. If you stand near those racks, you let the Glaives bounce, you actually allow Luna to push faster. So you just have to let her do her thing.
Yeah, Faceless Void, he's real scary right now for sure, but he can't just go in on the Luna, sorry, especially least of all because of Aegis. But there's a lot of issues he has. I did forget, he's got Empower, right? So even though he's got lots of stats, he's actually got a lot of damage thanks to the Empower. So that's no joke here. He just now needs to be able to consistently land these attacks versus the Luna, and then he can kind of go mano a mano. That's when we'll see this all start to break down a little bit more. But that's the bottom lane of Barracks for free. ChFighters, they don't lose anything out from that at the very least, but no ulti is used, no BKBs forced, and Aegis still ready to go for Liquid, as they will now try and set their sights on finally taking complete map control away from ChFighters, and that of course includes the triangle. Look at this, using the Ignis just to make sure he's not walking into any mines, as well as destroying the trees, as Supreme is going to be destroyed by Qualifier.
Yeah, Sadia is done with his mining, and actually this just gave Liquid a really strong chance, because Techies he's probably not setting up mines in the base this whole time, right? You know that as Liquid. That's not how good Techies plays. You don't mine the base just in case. So by being able to surpass the zone that Techies was controlling until now, you just erase this whole work he's been doing until now, which means that Aaron now needs to start doing this, but you have an opportunity as Liquid to continue to push, especially with Luna Leshrac. Two good heroes deal with the Techie strategy, even if they're not good against Techies himself.
Yep. And on our hold that thought, Charlie. Okay, gonna go for the chrono, but he only
Charlie?
catches one. And Boxy, he's
Or
still
two.
in range for the call. Out it will come. Can Charlie even survive here? Yes, he's got the BKB. He's gonna time walk back up to the high ground. Mickey giving chase, even stunning him here from the low ground for a little bit of extra damage, but ultimately he's gonna be fine.
Charlie's in trouble now with the Ignis. They still have the Cold Embrace. I don't know, they're trying to bait out Mickey, but Mickey's just gonna keep on pushing. Charlie just lost the one threatening tool he had, really, in that chrono. To me, it was more surprising that he actually used the chrono in general rather than how he used it or whoever he got it. Like, you had no follow-up there. Nobody, and you had no Mortimer's Kisses. There was no way you're gonna kill the Luna, even if you catch her in the chrono.
Oh, that was an RP!
Oh,
That was
an RP
the
by
RP.
Shibe. I think he was trying to blink in. It must have been cancelled by a glaive, and
The
now
glaive?
he just lost it. And now you lost Supreme as well, who just came back. He has to buy back Liquid.
What a call.
They're gonna go and use the Eclipse. On top of that, Shibe's down. Charlie needs to get away. He will survive this, but Mickey still has the Aegis. You haven't been able to do anything against him. And Supreme, he had to buy back for that after honestly giving up his body for free.
To go to Game 3 versus Liquid after Game 1 was over 100 minutes long. And now to flub a call with the ultimate's part of me. This Ignis, such a big problem for Charlie. It doesn't last too long against him, but without Chrono, without RP, without a curse for 20 seconds because the Wyvern's dead, what do you do? This is just Megas.
Oh, they cut the Void again. Can they actually kill Charlie here? Charlie going forward, hoping for Dysania, but there's only one thing that Mickey wants, and it's the Rax. He's not interested in anything else. Supreme will die as collateral as Charlie just tries to kill Insania. He does get the kill, but it's only support as Mickey is taking your base behind you. Mickey's not concerned with the life of his supports. Mickey just wants the buildings. Charlie lost his life in the backlands, caught by Boxy yet again. I don't know if there's a chance for ChFighters any longer. It seems like this is going to be their last game, Richie, as Charlie, unable to do much, jumps over to Mickey, hoping to get this kill. In comes Shiba as well, scurrying back to the base. Okay, but Mickey had the Hurricane Bike. Even when the Winter Scars does nothing, they're capable of destroying both Charlie and Shiba. Charlie will barely live here. That's his second life. He needs to survive this. Doesn't really matter. GG is called. Mickey even had the Aeon Disc. Liquid will take this.
Very well played to Liquid, man. What a series out from them. Just mentally being able to take that Game 1 in the fashion that they did. Kind of just demolished in Game 2. 23 minutes, super smooth play by ChFighters at every single step. It never really felt like Liquid had a chance in Game 2, the way they were playing it. And then to just dominate this Game 3 like this, great stuff, honestly, from Liquid here. They definitely deserve the win, and they're moving on to the next round.
Yeah, Liquid played a fantastic game. Very happy for them, but at the same time, a bit sad to see ChFighters go. They showed some really great Dota in these lower brackets. I think they limited a couple of the teams that came from the upper brackets. You know, they were promising to look like Empire of the Western European qualifiers, but unfortunately, Liquid was too big an obstacle for them. I know people will harp on this Techies pick and might seem unorthodox, but I don't think they played that too badly. It just so happened that there were a couple of like crucial misplays, particularly towards the end, where they seemed to start getting desperate. I just got to them. And keeping your composure when you're risking your chance to go to TI, when you also feel like you actually have a chance to go, like it's no longer, oh, I'm just playing this to see how far we can go. When you actually think, maybe we can do this, guys. We're doing really well. Sometimes you're not going to play optimally, and it's okay. Congratulations to ChFighters for doing as well as they did. I'm happy to see them in next season if they make it to the lower division, to the open qualifiers, because this team looks as promising as ever.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for you and me here for the TI qualifiers. So thanks for having us, everyone. We're going to throw it back now to a short break. And when we are back, we're going to be joined by Daniel Offen and our panel to break down this series as a whole.